When thinking of the landlocked state of South Dakota, water might not be the first thing that comes to mind. But for residents of the state, we know all about our beloved Big Muddy that flows through its center, more commonly known as the Missouri River. Besides this river, there are approximately 9,500 other miles of river in South Dakota, according to rivers.gov. These rivers include the James River of southeast South Dakota, the White River of southwest South Dakota, the Little Missouri River of northwest South Dakota, and the Big Sioux River of eastern South Dakota. So as you can see, rivers cover the entire expanse of the state. But why are they important? Rivers contribute much to the state of South Dakota, and their preservation conserves much more than just their own waters. For starters, rivers are important for drinking and household water. The average South Dakota home uses about 93 gallons of water every day, and the state as a whole uses more than 73 million gallons of water each day. And much of this water comes from rivers. For a specific example is in southeastern South Dakota, where water can directly come from the James River. In other places where water is not directly taken from rivers, it is taken from lakes and groundwater, and these would not exist without rivers. The majority of lakes in South Dakota are river-fed. This means that there is constantly river supplying more water to the lake and replenishing what we take out of it. If these rivers were not constantly replenishing the lake, there would be no lake for us to take water from. The same is true for groundwater. As rivers flow over land, water from the river seeps down into the groundwater reserves through the riverbeds. This replenishes the aquifer naturally so that when we pump water out of it, we have more water to use. This water is not only used in our homes, but it's also used in agriculture. It's used in irrigation to sustain plant life, one of our most important natural resources, and it's also used to water livestock, which sustains animal life, another of our most important natural resources. And not only domestic animals use the rivers as water sources, so do the wild animals of South Dakota. These include bison, deer, prairie dogs, squirrels, reptiles, amphibians, and more than 400 different species of bird. Of these species of bird, this includes migratory birds, specifically geese, as they use the Missouri River as a natural migration path north and south at different times of the year so that they are never too far away from a water source. This is important to our state because hunting is a major tourist attraction. Having the geese use these rivers as migration brings in people from other states to see our lovely lands. Now, going back to ag for a minute, it is highly dependent on fertile soil. To raise livestock, you need good feed. And to have good feed, you need fertile ground. Now, when we plant crops on our ground, different nutrients are stripped from the soil by different plants. Corn strips different nutrients than soybeans, for example. And modern farmers use crop rotation and fertilizers to help replenish some of these nutrients, but nothing works quite as well as a good old-fashioned river flood. The river flood takes sediments that are nutrient-rich and deposits them over the land it covers, naturally replenishing the nutrients lost in the soil and conserving its health. This preserves our soils as well, which is our third of our most important natural resources. Finally, on the Missouri River, there are 4 large dams. These are the Oahe Dam, the Big Bend Dam, the Fort Randall Dam, and the Gavins Point Dam. There are many other smaller dams throughout the state, but we'll focus on these 4 because they produce hydroelectricity. Hydroelectricity is a clean form of energy. This means that it does not produce any smoke, smog, carbon, or any other kind of pollutant into our air through its generation. This is unlike the use of burning fossil fuels. This is very important because 50% of our energy in South Dakota comes from hydroelectricity. This means that since a large percentage of our energy comes from there, it reduces the amount of fossil fuels we use. And with less fossil fuels used, our air quality gets better and it preserves our final most important natural resource. So in short, rivers are vital to several different components of South Dakota, including everyday water use, agriculture, wildlife, the energy that powers your homes and businesses, and finally, even our air. But even besides all of these factors, our beautiful rivers are worth conserving because of the opportunity to relax and enjoy their pristine beauty on a gorgeous summer weekend with family and friends. Thank you.